Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. I have such a sad update and a really hard vlog to make today, but I know that you guys are gonna want and need to know that we had to say goodbye to our dog Lolita last week. And it has been so heartbreaking. I think I can make it through this video without crying, hopefully. I keep thinking I'm like out of tears. I've cried all the tears and then I keep surprising myself, but I really just want to get through this and let you guys know because I know how much you loved seeing her. I feel like she was probably in every video I've ever made practically. She was such a curious dog and like always wanted to be by me. And she was so photogenic too. So I know you guys knew and loved her, but I also know it probably feels really sudden, and that's why I want to make sure to tell you what happened. And I just feel like that you deserve that because you guys loved her and she was like a part of your life too. So it feels sudden to me, and I was with her for probably a dozen vet appointments in the past year, and I saw her symptoms coming on and everything, but it still just feels really sudden. She was 12 years old and she was like a medium-sized dog, so I thought we were just entering her twilight years, and I had big plans to spoil her rotten in her last several years, I thought. But basically what happened is, especially over the past year, she just started having some health changes. She was always kind of an anxious, quirky sort of dog, but she got a lot more anxious. But she stayed sweet and gentle from her first breath to her last breath, and I can attest because I got her when she was a puppy and I had her until the last second in my arms. So she was always so sweet, but she did just sort of have a lot of anxiety, and she had high blood pressure, and in this last year she started having these things, and also very suddenly she lost her vision in one eye, and we started to notice like just kind of overnight she couldn't catch treats anymore. So we took her to the vet so many times, like with every new symptom, and we just kept being told it was part of aging. I've never had an older dog, so I honestly just didn't know how this is supposed to go. And I know 12 is considered older for a dog, but we just thought it was really strange that she lost vision in one eye like overnight, and like all of a sudden she was bumping into things and not seeing her food bowl, and it just didn't seem normal. But there was no way for the vet to know at that point what was going on. It was really just her last day that and she had just been to the vet a couple days ago because we were monitoring all these symptoms, and last Friday when I woke her up in the morning and she was fine, and we went out for our first walk and she had a seizure. And thankfully, you know, Nate's working from home right now, so I was able to call him, and he was just right down the hall to race out, and he was such a hero and picked her up in his big strong arms. I mean, I picture him wearing a cape in my memory of that really traumatic moment, because he just swooped in and he picked her up, and we all got in the car and raced to the emergency vet. And one thing that really sucked about going through this hard day during COVID was we couldn't go in with her anywhere. So we had to just drop her off at the vet, which was so hard. I have a box of unicorn tissues to get us through this conversation. Ugh, I really don't want to depress you guys. I don't know why I'm going into such detail about exactly what happened. I just feel like a lot of times when people lose their pets, they understandably don't want to or just can't bear to talk about what happened. And I just know you guys were really invested in her, so I felt like you deserve to know what happened. We dropped her off at the vet. I mean, we stayed outside the vet, of course, and they had her and they gave her anti-seizure medication and anti-nausea, and they did all these tests. And long story short, after a few hours there, they said there was nothing else that they could do. So we raced her to a dog neurologist, which we had never been to see before. I wish we would have known that that was the kind of doctor she needed, but until she started having these seizures, we didn't know that. So she started having more and more seizures, and they kept giving her anti-seizure meds, but she wasn't responding. All this, we're waiting outside at the neurologist. They were amazing. The doctor was amazing. He was so clear with us and explaining her situation and basically telling us we had to let her go. He was basically 100% certain that based on her symptoms, she had developed a brain tumor, and unfortunately we didn't know about it, but that was why her vision was lost on one side. He thought that her brain tumor was in the right front part of her brain, and she had a lot of different signs that made that clear to him, and that's what was going on. And there was just nothing that, even if we did find out earlier, there wasn't really anything we could have done. She would have needed an MRI and radiation, and he said a lot of these things they can't really do in dogs of her age, so I don't know what would have happened, and financially I don't know what that would have looked like, but at the point that he got her, she was having constant seizures. I can't remember the term for that. But bless her heart, it was really uncomfortable looking. She stayed so sweet and calm during it. The vet had warned us that some dogs will bite while they're having a seizure just because they don't know what's going on. And she never, ever, ever got like that. She just stayed sweet up till the last possible second. And I'm so grateful for the vet, the neurologist that we were at. DC, do you want to come here? Do you want to come here? I love this sweet boy so much. Love you. So the vet, the neurologist told us we needed to let her go and there was nothing else that they could do, and she was suffering. So they were amazing because they did let us in. I just kept thinking I can't let her go without being there to hold her and to let her know everything's gonna be okay and make sure she knew how much we loved her. So thankfully they let us in for that. And you know, we had to wear masks and everything. We were just in a private room with the doctor, and it was really peaceful and sweet. And I was so grateful that Nate could be there with me, and I think she knew we were there, and it was so hard. Poor Nate was like trying to stay strong for us through it all, but I mean, the floodgates just opened for all of us, even the vet. It was just heartbreaking and so hard, but also peaceful and really loving. And that's just no surprise because she made our lives so full of peace and love. Coming home to this little boy was such a blessing. This is DC, our other dog, and we love him so much, and I'm so grateful that we have had him through this. He has just been so sweet and attentive. Lolita was always the one that was like glued to my side. She had to always guaranteed, 100% guarantee she would be in the same room I was in no matter what. And DC has always been a little bit more independent and kind of does his own thing around the house, but ever since we lost her, he's been glued to my side too. Oh, which has been so sweet. He has been so snuggly and cuddly and like cuddling with us all night in bed and just absolutely loving on us. And I've done a lot of reading about how to help your other dog through grieving when you lose one dog. A big thing I've read about is just to keep the dog on the same schedule, which also happens to be healthy for humans too, going through stuff. So we've been trying to stay to our routine and go for walks at the usual time and eat meals. Luckily, I'm so glad he still has an appetite and everything. And it's been a hellish week. I've heard of so many people who have lost their dogs during this pandemic. I don't know if that's just like a weird coincidence that I'm just noticing it more. I just can't believe it happened to us. We just weren't expecting this at all. But aside from everything that sucks about going through this during COVID, my friend Michelle, who's such a ray of positivity and lightness and wonderfulness, she pointed out that it was actually really good timing because we had more time with Lolita this year than we ever would have, you know, just as a family at home. And like I said, it was really good that Nate was home when it happened, so there's always silver linings. But I honestly kind of thought I was an expert at grief by this point in my life. I lost childhood friend when I was a little girl, and my grandparents when I was little, and my parents when I was really young, and I just felt like I had literally written a book on grief. But the truth is I've never lost a pet, and my 2 childhood dogs went to live on a farm, and I truly didn't question that until I was like in my 30s, and I like sat up in the middle of the night one night and I was like, Lady and Chester didn't go live on a farm? Oh my gosh. But as a kid, my parents sheltered me from losing them. Like I genuinely thought they went to have a better life on a farm. And so I never really grieved for a pet, and I have to say it has been such a painful grieving process. Like, I was blown away by how hard this has been, and I'm just so thankful I've had Nate and DC through it all, and I'm so thankful that I got to have Lolita as long as I had her. She was such a good dog, just so good, and I've tried to pay some nice tributes to her on my Instagram. If you want to check those out, there's a highlight of her on my Instagram page, and Nate wrote a really beautiful tribute to her. She was just such a unique, sweet, quirky dog, and we will remember her every single minute for the rest of our lives. So that's the sad news. I hope I didn't bog you down too much with what's going on in our family, but I just have to say I'm so grateful for you all. Your kind words on Instagram have meant the world to us, have really helped get us through this. And I always, like a weird quirk of how my brain works, like I always feel bad when I have to tell other people something sad, because I just don't want to make other people sad too, and I don't want to ever put people in a situation where they don't know what to say and they're struggling and it's awkward and painful for them too. So all my life with having to tell people about various losses, I've always had these little like defense mechanisms where I kind of say, but it's sad, but I'm so glad I had her as long as I did, and you know, just kind of breeze over my own pain, because it just, I don't want to make my pain other people's pain. There's so much pain out there, and I just want to be a beacon of positivity. You guys know that's always been my only goal with this channel. So anyway, all that to say, you guys are just so sweet and loving, and you know the exact perfect thing to say, and I don't even have to worry about trying not to put you in that position, because you just say the perfect things. Like, every comment on my Instagram post, every private message has just meant so much to me. It's been so life-giving for us doing this. And if anybody else out there has lost a pet and you're going through this too, go read the comments on my latest Instagram post, because I mean, it's really comforting. So thank you guys so much for that from the bottom of my heart. And on behalf of my whole little family, thank you for helping us through this. It means so much. And you've been so gracious with me and patient and understanding, and that just means the world to me. So thank you. Thank you. So I wanted to show you guys a little memorial I have for Lolita here. I'm sorry that my office behind us is in a disastrous state. I have been not up to my usual cleaning and organizing, although I have done some things around the house just for like therapy almost. I find cleaning and methodical tasks to be pretty therapeutic, so I have been doing some of that, but my office is currently just trash because I was going through like all of my old memory boxes and photos, and just doing my best to grab onto all her memories right now. So I want to show you this little memorial that we have. I just created kind of a shrine, honestly. This was her favorite spot. You guys know I have my office in here. It's a wreck right now, to be completely honest. On the couch I have some old memory bins that I was going through, but anyway, right here was her favorite spot that she would always be, and this sweet baby has been making it his spot. I don't know if it's just like the comfort of being near her things here or near me because I'm in here or what, but such a sweet boy. He's been laying in here. And I just have some of her favorite things and some cards and beautiful flowers that we were so grateful to receive from some dear ones in our lives. And just, yeah, it's just a place to remember her, so it's really been comforting me. Do you have a little foot itch? He's so cute. Aw, I feel like that was him telling us all to feel better. He's been absolutely amazing. And as have all of you. I mean, this just represents a small fraction of the sweet gestures and kind words and just so much comfort that I've been so lucky to get from my friends and my YouTube family and all of you guys. I know everybody's having a rough time out there. I know this year has been so hard in so many ways, and I just want to let you guys know it's going to be okay, and we are going to push through this together. And I know sometimes the pain can seem kind of all-consuming no matter what you're going through. I've been through, like I said, more than my fair share of it, and so I know just taking things a day at a time and focusing on the good memories is so key, and focusing on what brings you joy and like being more gentle with yourself, doing more self-care. I've been trying to make more time for my nightly skincare or a bubble bath or sleep. Never underestimate how much sleep you need when you're going through hard times. Sunshine, I absolutely find that so healing. Anyway, I'm just wishing all of those good things for you guys right now. And I also just want to reassure you that we are holding it together over here. I know you know how hard this is for us and how much Lolita was loved and what a huge part of our family she was, but I am grateful that she's not in pain anymore. And like I said, we'll always remember her. I have so many pictures and videos of her, thank goodness. She was such a beautiful, photogenic dog. So, sorry to lay my burdens on you guys, but I just needed to let you know what was going on. I know that she is important to you too. And we are gonna get back to some more fun content very soon. I have some videos that I'm craving to make, and it will be a good distraction for me, and I always love any chance to hang out with you guys, seriously. I always say the whole point of this channel, because you know I don't like make my living on YouTube or anything like that, the only point of this channel is to make friends, and by that measure it has just been such an astounding success because I just love you guys so much, and your friendships really are what's getting me through this hard time right now. So thank you, and I love you, and I'll see you soon.